Shalom, shalom, and welcome again to our Thursday night biblical study class with the nation of Yahweh under the teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh. Before we get started, we're going to stand up, face the east, and say our national prayer, and after that, we'll say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. We will do that now. Let us stand, face the east. O Yahweh, God of our salvation, save us, gather us together, and deliver us from these heathens, so that we may give thanks to thy holy name and glory in thy praise. Blessed be the holy name of Yahweh in Israel forever. O Yahweh, let them be confounded that persecute us, but let not us be confounded. Let our enemies be dismayed, but let not us be dismayed. Bring upon our enemies the day of evil, and destroy them with double destruction. O Yahweh, forgive our fathers for breaking your laws, and please forgive us for breaking your laws. Help us to never bring shame upon thy great name, nor reproach against thy works. For surely we have turned ourselves to thee, O Yahweh, trying to be upright, and as we confess our faults, please grant us protection against all of our faults. Cleanse us of our secret faults, and guide us to the best of morals. For surely our prayers and our sacrifices, our lives and our deaths are all for thee, O Yahweh. Tefillah, Ave Nu Shabbat Shemayim, Yikadeh Shemeaka, Tavo Mafuteaka, Yase Rizonka, Ivashemayim Kain Baretz, Et Leken Kukenu, Tain La Nu Hayom, Uslak La Nu, All Qatar Nu, Himoshiso King, Gamanak Nu, Lakotem La Nu, Veal Tefienu, Wadeni Sayon, King Ka Senu, Minhara, Kilakar, Hamamlaha, Deat Givara, Deat Teferet, Leolame, Olame, Sila. We thank thee, Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. Praise Yahweh. Again, welcome to our Thursday night biblical research study class. First, I'd like to testify that Yahweh is God and that his son's name is Yahweh ben Yahweh. Everywhere that you read Lord and God in the Bible, the original reads Yahweh. Anytime it talks about the son of Yahweh, his name is Yahweh ben Yahweh, according to John 5:43, which says, I come in my Father's name. The world needs to understand that the Son himself in the Bible, John 5:43, says that I come in my Father's name. That some will have a problem with that. That does not change the fact that he comes in his Father's name. In the Old Testament, it says, blessed is he who come in the name of the Father. Well, that is Yahweh ben Yahweh. First, Yahweh ben Yahweh had to teach the name Yahweh to the world. And after he taught the name, then he had to reveal John 5:43. He had to reveal himself. Now that you know that my Father's name is Yahweh, you must come to understand that I come in my Father's name, which is Yahweh, being the Son Yahweh. Praise Yahweh. As you begin to study for yourself, you will find out that we are the family of Yahweh. Of mean coming from him. As you study for yourself. There are several scriptures we share every class. One is 2 Timothy 2:15, and it says, study to show thyself approved. That's a commandment. You don't have to wonder about this. You don't have to guess about this. Yahweh commands us to study to show thyself approved, rightly dividing the word of truth. Well, what would you divide the word of truth from? Falsehood. You do know that the Satan deceived the whole world, right? If you didn't know, Satan deceived the whole world. How did he deceive the whole world? Through his institutions. What is his institution? School systems. That's his institution. Religions with an S. Those are his institution. The political system. Those are his institution. These the media. See, you have to understand that these are systems in place that we didn't put in place. And none of these systems have brought peace. None of them. Not one of them. The people that are in rulership has messed up the air, the water, and the food. If being that they have messed up the air, the water, and the food, how, just based on that, how can we continue to follow them in destroying the creation that's meant for the children of Yahweh? Yes, it's time for all good people to come together. We are truly the family of Yahweh. We are the nation of Yahweh. The nation of Yahweh is simply the nation of God. All good people want to be a part of the nation of God. We just know his name is Yahweh. But you have to come into that understanding for yourself. You have to study for yourself. Don't believe me. Study for yourself. Every name pretending to God was given to us. Every name of all the religion was given to us. I was an adult in college. The college didn't teach me his name. The university didn't teach me his name. Yahweh ben Yahweh taught me his name. That's the only name that was hidden and kept from us. You have to ask yourself, why? Why did we become adults before we knew his name is Yahweh? Why did we have to become adults before we knew his son's name is Yahweh ben Yahweh? That he will come back from amongst us. A lot of these questions will be answered tonight. But as you continue to study with us, you will come to know the truth. Again, the word study in Hebrew means lahag. And lahag means intense mental application. Intense mental application. See, this must take place in your mind. This is where the confusion is. This is where we have been deceived in our mind. So lahag means intense mental application. See, once you study for yourself, then it's up to us as individuals to apply this to our mind. And as we do that, then it'll become an action. It'll become a lifestyle. It also says in Psalms 19:7, it says that the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect. It says that the law is perfect. Then it says that the law will convert your soul. But religious institutions teach us that the law does not count anymore. Some religious institutions teach that there are just 10 commandments. What nation can operate on just 10 commandments? That is not logical. But religious institutions have taught us this. Some have even taught us that the law don't count anymore. But Psalms 19:7 says that the law will convert your soul. The law will change your mind from being wicked to righteous. Then it says that there was a testimony. Psalm 19:7 says the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony, test this out now, listen now, pay attention to these words. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh, see, the Lord Yahweh is a testimony that the law will convert your soul. How can he be a testimony unless he have seen this or experienced this for himself? So the Lord Yahweh exposed himself to the same things that we have been exposed to. He just didn't come back and say, be righteous. He was born from among us, experienced the same things that we experienced, then converted himself. And convert means a spiritual turning away from sin in repentance to Yahweh ben Yahweh in faith. It says convert, it is a dramatic turning away from one path in order to pursue an entirely different new path. That's what convert means. It involves turning one's back. Listen to this now. Listen to the words. It involves turning one's back to the system of this world and its anti-God Yahweh value. That's what convert means. You can't continue to go down the same path that we've been going down, expecting to receive, expecting to have a relation with our Father. Then you run into the word Holy Communion. When you return to Yahweh by keeping his laws. Holy Communion means, listen to this now, Yahweh will share or exchange his intimate thoughts and feelings. His intimate thoughts and feelings, especially exchange on a mental level. See, this is going to take place on a mental level. Did you hear that? On a mental level. All this will take place while you are living. Intimate means private and personal thoughts and feelings. But he's ready to share that with us when we return back to him. Now, getting into our class, because time is really flying. Last week, and that's a class that you must listen to, because we got into multiple scriptures. But the last scripture we got into was Matthew 5:48, where it says, "Be ye therefore perfect." That's a commandment. Now, this society, through its institutions, schools, colleges, universities, religions, television, social media, say things like nobody can be perfect. That's what they teach. But it says in Psalms 19:7, say the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, and that it will convert your soul. Matthew 5:48 says, "Be ye therefore perfect." That's a commandment. Then it says, "Even as your Father, which is in heaven, is perfect." Now, if we say that the Creator is our Father, if we really mean that, he said, "Be perfect." Now we are understanding that the law of Yahweh is what is perfect. And when you keep these laws, it will change your mind and you will become perfect. This society says nobody is perfect. But what does 2 Timothy 2:15 tells us to do? Matthew 5:48 tells us to do. Psalms 19:7 tells us, but we looked up the word imperfect last week. And just a little bit of what we went over when we looked up the word imperfect, since nobody can be perfect. Imperfect means unbusinesslike, unaccomplished, unprepared. It means, now this is just some of what it means now. It means vulgar, unrefined, unpolished. It means uncivilized. So when you walk around the world and say that nobody could be perfect, then you're uncivilized. You're impolite. You're savage. You're beastly. You're evil. You have a criminal mind, a perverse and corrupt mind. That's the kind of mind that you have. And that you're also unhealthy. Why are we unhealthy? Because we are following the lifestyle of this system. The same people that created this system poison the air, the water, and the food. We have to be logical about this. We can't be illogical. We have to be logical about this. Now, we're going to share a few more scriptures before we get into, and we want you to go to Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3, and starting at verse 1. Genesis 3, starting at verse 1. And it says, "Now the serpent," that's the devil now, that's Lucifer and Satan. See, this joker got many names. It say, "Now the serpent was more subtle." This joker was more. Anaya, can you get up to give us the word subtle? Subtle. We need to understand this joker here.
Subtile.
So, yes, sir.
Okay, subtile is an older or subtile is an older or archaic spelling of subtle. Subtile subtle means crafty or cunning, delicate or elusive, ingenious or skillful, complex and difficult.
See, he's skillful in being subtle. He's skillful in being crafty. He's skillful in this. Go ahead. Hold that word. Hold it.
It retains much of the same meaning as subtle. It is used to emphasize cunning. It describes someone who is clever, often in a
See, you see,
deceitful or
see,
manipulative
don't
way.
just let Anaya say these words, but write them down so you can understand this serpent, Lucifer the devil. Now understand, we talking about people now. He's categorized mentally as a serpent. Get the, don't go outside looking at the snake on the ground. It's some people that's referred to as serpents. Go ahead, Anaya.
Crafty or cunning. Describes someone who is clever, often in a deceitful. So
Someone. We talk. Oh, it done told you a person now. Go ahead, Anaya. Talk to us.
it describes someone who is clever, often in a deceitful or manipulative way.
Uh huh. Gracious, look at here, Yahweh. You got some more, Anaya?
Yes.
What's the word you had? Okay. Go ahead, Anaya.
So we have synonyms for it, right? It's subtle, cunning, crafty, shrewd, elusive. The word subtle or subtile emphasizes nuances that might go unnoticed without careful thought, describing cunning behavior, using complex ideas. That's it.
Thank you, sir. We got another word that was shared with us, Anaya, which is treacherous. Talking about this serpent right here in Genesis chapter 3, verse 1. So this tells you the characteristics of this person. And it says, now this person serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. So it's not saying that there's some people are considered beasts. See, you, Anaya, look up beast. I just see their mind. Just they couldn't imagine a beast being a person. Give us beast. Beast.
Well, I have a little bit of a treacherous also.
Okay.
So a little bit of treacherous. It talks about betrayal, danger,
Mm, mm.
deceit, deceptive, hazardous, unstable, false, misleading, faithless.
Misleading.
Yes, sir.
This serpent is gonna mislead you.
Yes,
You,
sir.
you. you just heard what he said now. That the serpent, we have been misled. Go ahead.
Okay. So I got beast for you.
Okay, come on. Talk to us tonight.
The word beast is a versatile term that can refer to animals and can symbolize certain traits in people.
Oh, what you say or not? You didn't say people.
Yes, sir.
Let's just go ahead. So beast and serpent is talking about some people. Go ahead.
The word beast carries rich metaphorical meanings in literacy, literature, and religions. Beast, definition, an animal, a brutish or cruel person,
Ooh, person again. Okay, go ahead.
a metaphorical or symbolic representation of power or evil. Refers broadly to any living creature, often with an emphasis that is untamed.
Mm, mm, mm.
Used metaphorically to describe someone who behaves savagely, cruelly.
Savagely. That the word imperfect took us last week into savagery. Go ahead, Anaya.
Used metaphorically to describe someone who behaves savagely, cruelly, or lacks refinement.
Lacks refinement. Yes, sir.
Often used in religious or literature context to describe entities associated with chaos, destruction, or malevolence.
Mm, mm.
Synonyms: an animal, a creature, a brute, a monster, a fiend.
A fiend.
Yes, sir.
You talking about like a like a person on drugs?
Yeah, yep, like a crack fiend.
Fiend.
Yes.
It didn't say fiend. Nah.
Yes, it did.
It said fiend.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and now the time flying. Go ahead. Good gracious.
In summary, the term beast transcends its literal meaning as an animal, serving as a powerful metaphor for human qualities, for moral struggles, and immense challenges. It describes a
Golly.
brutish person and it's layered in meanings that make it versatile as a word. And that's it.
I hope, see, you're going to have to take this class. You're going to have to listen to this class. You're going to have to go over this class because, see, you need to understand this serpent person, this subtle person, and this beastly person. You're going to have to understand that for yourself. You're going to have to, for yourself, understand what you're dealing with. And it says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, who said to the woman? The devil. Yea, woman, how you doing today? Yahweh have said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. But you look so beautiful, woman. But check what Yahweh said. See, he's pretending. He's giving the appearance of righteousness. He's giving the appearance of godliness. But this joker is more subtle and skilled right now. You're looking at his skill taking place to the woman. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. See, if she was smart, she'd have said, get behind me, Satan. But she wanted to indulge in this conversation. Now, wait just a minute now. We're going to make this clear. It's saying woman right here in the book, right? But we're talking about males and females. We're talking about mind. We're not talking about physical genders. We're talking about mind. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the gardens, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Check serpent out now, who's skillful in cunning and deceitfulness and treacherous. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Why is she still talking to him? Ye shall surely not die, woman. Don't believe Yahweh. It's not true. For Yahweh does know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened. We're going to speed this up. And ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, that the tree was pleasant to the eyes, she liked looking at it. See, we're talking about sexual activities now. And we're going to keep, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. And she took of the fruit thereof and did eat. Check what she did then. And after she gave the serpent some, after she had sex with the serpent, listen to me now. After she looked at his tree and was desired and felt, and she also unto her husband, to her husband with her, and he did have sex with her too. Now you can read all the way down to 10 and study these words for yourself. This will be shocking to some of you, but study these words for yourself so that you can understand. All right? So after she had sex with Lucifer, the serpent, the devil, she gave some to Adam too. Now, go over to verse 4 and 1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife. He had sex with her. And she conceived and bare Cain and said, see, now she's pregnant from the devil, gave Adam some, and then bare a son and came and said, check what she said now. Because Adam said, what's going on here? She said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. She lied. She could have been calling Satan her Lord. See, the Lord is someone that you follow, you look up to. And this world is being led by the Lord, Satan, Lord, the devil. And bear son, and then after she had sex with the devil or the serpent, she had Cain, and she gained and again bare a son, Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, and Cain was a tiller of the ground. Cain was a tiller of the ground, but Abel was a keeper of sheep, and sheep are men. What Cain bought, he was a tiller of the ground, low stuff. Then it says, in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord Yahweh. This joker bought a fruit of the ground. And we're going to get into that word ground. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock of people and of the fat thereof. And the Lord Yahweh had respect for Abel and to his offering. See, Yahweh had respect for Abel and his offering because he knew who Abel was and he knew what his offering was. But Cain and his offering, he had not respect. He didn't have respect for Cain's offering because he knew who Cain was and what his offering was. And he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth. See right here, Cain got mad at Yahweh. See, the devil knew that Yahweh chose the firstborn. His goal was to plant his seed there first before Adam so he can claim all rights. But Yahweh knew who he was. Cain was very wroth and his countenance fell. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance falling? If thou doest well, Cain, look, Cain, okay, I know who you is. You know I know who you is. But Cain, if you do well, thou shall thou not be accepted, Cain? If you do well, if you be moral and ethical, if you practice my laws, statutes, judgments, and commandments as a way of life, then you will be accepted. And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at your door, Cain, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule. So this is about rulership. Thou shalt rule over your brother Abel. If you do well, Cain. So this is all about rulership. This is what this is about, rulership. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, because he knew as long as Abel was conscious, he could not rule wickedly, because Abel would have ruled righteously. And he rose up against Abel his brother and slew him, killed his brother. See, we today represent Abel, and the wicked is Cain. If you look up Cain's name, just his name, it says a wicked one. It says one who causes confusion, one who causes discord and conflict, one who's a liar, one who is a murderer. And when you look around the world today, you see all of Cain's attributes. Ruling, meaning Cain is in rulership. 9 say, and the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said that the sucker finna lie, not a sucker finna lie. He said, I know not. Then he says, am I my brother's keeper? He lied right to Yahweh. He said, see, Yahweh knew who he was and gave him a chance now. Then he said in verse 10, he says, and he said, what hast thou done, Cain? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. When you look up the word blood, it means offspring, descendants. That's us. We're the descendants here today that's tired of wicked rulership. We don't know no better, but we tired of immoral rulership. And we're crying to Yahweh. We tired of Cain ruling over us. We tired of Lucifer ruling over us. So since Cain killed us, and kill mean to change the condition and the thoughts of your mind. See, the Lord devil was the woman's Lord. So she taught Cain the ways of Lucifer, not to worship Yahweh. It's so much information here. What time? Oh, it's good gracious. Well, now we go. Well, go to John. John. Yeah, you say John. Is John? Okay. First John. First John 3:12. First John 3:12. First John 3:12. Come on, First John. You got to speed up here, First John. First John. Good gracious. Where is it? Come on, John. Wait. Y'all pardon me. It's after Peter, but it goes. Okay, First John, what we got here? First John 3:12. No, we're gonna go to First John, excuse me. Yeah, 3:12. Yeah. First John 3:12. And it says, not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. See, Cain wasn't from Adam. He was from that wicked one, the serpent. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's work righteous. You see that? He slew him because his work was evil and Abel's work was righteous. And the righteous can't, they will not be able to rule when Cain killed him. Cain knew he couldn't rule with righteousness in the face of the people. Let me add this. See, this system attempted to physically kill Yahweh ben Yahweh's work. Attempted. But now the world know that the name Yahweh is in the world. The name Yahweh ben Yahweh is becoming more powerful because people are beginning to study and become aware that his name is Yahweh ben Yahweh. But Cain was from that wicked one. And now we're going, whew. And now you're good gracious. What time is it?
Look at 7:44.
Okay. Okay. Same book, 1 John 6:18. 1 John, right over on the next page, probably. 1 John, what I said? Okay. 1 John 5. 6 comes from. 1 John 5:18 through 20. And it says, we know that whosoever is born of Yahweh. See, now you got to be born again now. You got to be born again. Everybody know that. We know that whosoever is born of Yahweh sinneth not. But he that is begotten of Yahweh, if you are begotten of Yahweh, which means you have choose the teachings of Yahweh ben Yahweh, it said, keepeth himself. He gonna take care of his own mind. He gonna fill his mind up with the knowledge of Yahweh ben Yahweh, because he keepeth himself, comma, and it says, and that wicked one toucheth him not. Why he can't touch him? Because that hedge that he couldn't touch Job, when Lucifer couldn't touch Job, the hedge is the knowledge of Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yahweh had to remove the hedge from round Job. We representative of Job. But Yahweh had faith that we was going to return back to Yahweh ben Yahweh. Lucifer said, Yahweh, when I finish with these jokers, they're going to curse you to your face. Meaning they won't believe you. They'll curse you. They won't believe. They won't study for themselves. They love Lucifer and his rulership. They love depending on a wicked rulership. And it says, keepeth himself, and that wicked one toucheth him not. And we know that we are of Yahweh, and the whole world that's not of Yahweh, the whole world lieth in wickedness. And we know that the Son of Yahweh ben Yahweh, the Son Yahweh ben Yahweh, is come. See, we know who Yahweh ben Yahweh is, those that are studied from themselves. It say, is come and have given us an understanding. It couldn't have been him in the past, because there is no understanding in the world. The institutions that say they believe in him say that the law don't count. But who has given us understanding? Yah ben Yahweh, that we may know him that is true. And we are in him that is true, even in his Son, Yahweh ben Yahweh. See that word right there? That's deception. They taught us to believe that. Multiple religious institutions taught us to believe that. And chaos and hell is even in the building where they teach that. This is the true God, Yahweh, and eternal life. Anaya, the word ground takes us, because see, Cain's work was of the ground. All right? And you look up the word ground, it takes you to the word base, B-A-S-E. And base means, ground means morally low, without dignity. Without dignity, that you'll be mean-spirited, that you'll be selfish, that you'll be cowardly, that you got a deranged mind. Underline that part. You will have no value, that you're worthless. See, the world look at you in disdain. And wonder why you don't return back to your own God. But they'll look at you in disdain. Then it also, ground means characteristic of a inferior person. We're talking about ground, the kind of fruit that Cain brought to Yahweh. See, Abel brought righteous people. And that's what we're to do today as the nation of Yahweh. See, I tell you, if you don't believe in good as a way of life, do not come around us. We have no use for you. If you do come with that kind of mind, we're going to kick you out immediately. You are not allowed in here, Cain. And Yahweh ben Yahweh has awakened our minds to recognize you now because he gives us the moral attributes for you to follow. He gives us the law, statutes, judgments, and commandments as a way of life to follow. We understand that if you don't like the law, statutes, judgments, and commandments of Yahweh, then we understand clearly that you're of Cain, the devil. Anaya,
Yes, sir.
what in the world do deranged? This Lucifer's son came brought us the deranged mind. Could you please tell us what a deranged mind is?
Deranged.
Adam was
The
the
term
son of God.
deranged conveys a state of
Adam,
mental
the son of God.
disturbance,
See, a mental disturbance. Go ahead,
disorg-
Anaya.
disorganization,
Mm.
instability. Definition: mentally disturbed or unbalanced. Refers to someone who has lost control of their mental faculties, often associated with severe mental illness.
Oh, yeah. So wait a minute, Anaya. You saying those who who choose to follow Cain, who choose this system, is what again? What was that last definition you gave us?
Mentally undisturbed, unbalanced.
Unbalanced. Someone, go ahead.
Someone who has lost control of their mental faculties,
You don't even have control of your mental faculties no more. You don't even have control of them. You don't even have control of them.
has severe mental illness.
Not just some mental illness, but severe mental illness. You got some more?
Of course I do.
Talk to us.
Disordered, chaotic, something that is out of order or functioning abnormally. Extreme or irrational behavior.
You just go ahead.
Extreme or irrational behavior. Used metaphorically to describe someone acting in a way that seems unhinged or unreasonable.
You just not just unreasonable. Boy, go ahead.
Disruptive from
You
normal
just
functioning.
disruptive. Your function not even normal. Go ahead. Just
Describes
graciously.
a thinking, a system or process that are disrupted or malfunctioning.
See, you're gonna have to look. See, you're gonna have to get this class, and you're gonna have to look this up for yourself now. Brother Naya is giving you these words to understand what imperfect mean. That this imperfection took place over 6,000 years ago when Cain killed Abel. That's when imperfection was set in motion. And these institutions today uphold this imperfect standard of life. When the Bible says the law is perfect, when the Bible says in Matthew 5:48, be perfect, then it says, even as your father. You got some more now? You gracious, look at here.
Of course I do.
Come on.
Synonyms: unhinged, insane, a lunatic,
Oh, Luna. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Go ahead.
mad,
Just bad.
disturbed, demented, irrational, disordered, chaotic. In psychology, deranged is not a formal diagnosis, but is often used colloquially to describe someone with severe mental health issues, such as psychosis and extreme delusions.
Extreme
Yes, sir.
in your delusion. Come on, come on.
That's it.
Uh, you have given us a great deal to study. Now, understand in Genesis chapter 4 that Cain offering was of the ground. See, he loved bringing this kind of mind to the forefront of the world. And because this kind of mind is in rulership, that's why the world faces the problems that they're facing. Because this kind of mind that Brother Anaya is sharing with you is the kind of mind that's in rulership. And when you look at the people in the world today, they're exhibiting this kind of mind. The nation of Yahweh invites you to study with us, to study for yourself. You read in Revelation where Satan deceived the whole world. You read in Genesis where the serpent was more. You have to come to this resource that we have to get this class and study it for yourself. See, you want to get last week's class and this week's class because you need to understand the kind of mind that's ruling. See, the reason you following this kind of mind because you don't know him. Anaya, would you please give us those wonderful announcements again?
Yes, sir. I want to first of all thank everybody for joining the class today. Well, there's a lot of people that's viewing today. We appreciate your viewership. We sent the link out to everyone today. It had the Discord link for to join the community. I see a few people did join the Discord today. We're always sitting in the study session class, Bible study class. It will be open to you every Thursday. If you just want to come and hang out, you can do that also. Um, You always go to ybyalliance.com. That's ybyalliance.com. Click on contact, and you can leave your name, your number, and email. We will send you the information every Thursday. Every Thursday, we send out a link that you can join us, that you can commune with us, that you can study with us, that you can be a part of the moral people, the part of the loving people, a part of the Yahweh people. We are here for you. We are family. We are a nation. That's ybyalliance.com.
Could you tell us about Passover a little bit, Anaya? Do you have any information on that, the dates yet?
Yes, we do have the information for Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread that is coming up and it's coming fast. Please, I am telling you, you want to get your tickets as soon as possible. At ybyalliance.com, we have a section called the Feast of Yahweh, and you can purchase your Passover tickets that will be held in Riviera Beach, Florida. The dates is April 1st through April 8th. That's April 1st through April 8th. Please save the dates. Please go to the website, and if you can, get your tickets now. You don't want to lose your chance to get in and be in and get some of these teachings.
Brother Anaya, thank you so very much for those announcements. I was listening to a class from our father Yahweh ben Yahweh, and he was talking about closing the door. And it comes under the 5 wise versions and the 5 foolish versions. And the 5 foolish versions are those that don't want to study, but want to kind of hang around. And when the bridegroom came, when the time comes, then you're going to try to go run and study, but the door is going to be shut. If you can't see that this world that we're in today, this system that we're involved in, can't last much longer, then you need to pray to Yahweh, because you're depending on a system that is doomed. All good people say they was waiting on the return of our Father Yahweh. Well, he had. And he's given us the study techniques and methods, because he said in 1 Timothy 2:15, study for yourself. See, he's telling you to study because you got to qualify. You got to qualify your mind. See, listen what we are. We are the nation of Yahweh. The nation of God. We just know his name is Yahweh. The nation of the mind of Yahweh. Not the nation of this mindset. We're going to stop there, but prepare yourself to attend the Feast of Passover every day, April the 1st through April the 8th. We're commanded to keep the feast. I believe it's 3 feasts, and it's 21 days for each, for the 3 feasts: Feast of Passover, Feast of Weeks, Feast of Tabernacles, which is a total of 21 days that Yahweh command us to keep these feasts. They are really the feast of Yahweh, and we're commanded to keep them. And it's time for the righteous family of Yahweh to come together. Out of 365 days, you're commanded to keep a minimum of 21. You have to consider that in your mind. Has this world consumed your mind so much that you would accept something less? That what Yahweh ben Yahweh teaches? Yahweh ben Yahweh is the Messiah who the world has been waiting to come. He has come, and he is calling for his family to come together, the body of Christ, Yahweh ben Yahweh. Well, we're going to stop. We're going to face the east and say a prayer to our Father in Hebrew, which is the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew, but we're going to say it. The Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Let us face the east. Tefillah. Avenu Shabbat Shemayim. Yikadesh Shemerka. Tavo Makuteaka. Yase Rizonka. Ivashamayim came Baaretz. Et Lekum Kukainu. Tain Lanu Hayom. Uslak Lanu. All Qatar Nu. Kimosha Soul King. Gamanak Nu. Lakote Lanu. Leon Tepienu. Ladeni Sayom. King Kansenu. Mean Hara. Kilakar. Amumlaha. Veat Gibara. Leat Teferet. Leolame. Olame Selah. We thank thee, Yahweh, O living and eternal King, who has so mercifully restored our souls within us. Praise Yahweh. And again, it is our pleasure to serve you. We like to thank everybody Tell your friends, tell your family, but understand who we're looking for now. We're not looking for the Cain mindset. Always remember that Yahweh ben Yahweh loves you, and we, the nation of Yahweh, love you. Shalom.